Shalom, y'all. Once again, giving all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. So,
I mean, the weather's not too bad today. Thank God. So how should we start this? I mean, honestly, it's sort of been like a dead week. A dead couple of last weeks as far as news goes. At least to me. Lately, it's been like business as usual. You been hearing that feeling? It feels like business as usual, right?
yeah.
But at the same time, though, I get to sinking feeling like we don't got much time left in this kingdom. So it seems like whenever we in like a dead week, a dead period, that's when you know something else big happens, something big pops up. And here we are in like the middle of December, and really, New Year's is 2 weeks from now, basically.
This year went by fast as shit. That's how you notice it, man. This is Revelation 20:4. It says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai Mashiach."
Yeah, because the elect are gonna have to go through torment and tribulation on this side. So whether that be you being put to death, getting your head chopped off, or you ending up in a jail cell, or even living out in the wilderness, that's tribulation that you're gonna have to endure.
I was meditating on it, like how bad it has to be out here. Like we always say Jacob's trouble and how bad it's gonna get, but imagine how bad it's gonna get to the point where Esau Edom is talking about some get down and lay down. Like you gotta get with this or you can get with that. Like those are gonna be your options in the times to come, where if you don't want to get down with the system, you could be put to death. Imagine the laws and things that get passed for that to just be like gonna be a normal occurrence. Like that lets you know how bad it's gonna get out here, where they're just gonna be able to do things like that with impunity, like lock you up if you don't want to get down with the system, take your head off if you don't want to get down with the system. Let you know it's gonna get real out here.
That's a fact.
It says for the word. Read up some. It says, "And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years."
And that's also part of the tribulation. You know how in Revelation it speaks about the hour of temptation? So when they roll out the mark of the beast, that's going to be the hour of temptation, also tied to our tribulation. Because then that's where you're going to have to make the decision. Are you going to remain in this system? Is that something you want to do? Or do you want to walk with Yahweh Shai?
This is Romans 11:4. Actually, I'll start at the top. This is Romans 11:1. It says, "I say then, hath the Most High cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin. God hath not cast away his people which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith to Elias? How he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal."
Yeah, the image of Baal, however you pronounce it.
Baal.
Baal. And that's an ancient deity that the Israelites were worshiping during the time of, the Babylonians? And And so, you know, it's really like the same thing. Like everything goes full circle. You know, fast forward, people are still doing it then, and they're still doing it today. One of the sacrifices of Bilal, if I'm not mistaken, or is it Molech? I'm not even so sure right now. But it's one of those two where you got to sacrifice your child. And you even had Israelites that was getting down with that then, and they're getting down with that today through, you know, these AB clinics. So, you know, no matter what we do as a people, the Israelites, we can never be faded. We're unfadable. You know, as much as this society tries to get us to veer off the path, worship other gods, deal with other philosophies, you're still gonna always have that remnant that say, nah, we're not with them. And they're gonna try to do the right thing.
Read the second verse again. It says, God has not cast away his people, which he foreknew. Foreknew, that's talking about the chosen, the elect. You know, the first fruits. It says, what ye not, what the scriptures say to Elias. That's Elijah, you know, Elias is the Greek way of saying Elijah. It says, how he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down mine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. So just like at that time, they were seeking Elias's life, the prophet. And in the times now, they're going to be trying to seek our lives, the men that's out here doing the work in the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
And just a fact check real quick on what I was saying. I Googled it. It says, yes, historical and archaeological evidence alongside ancient texts, including the Bible and Greek Roman accounts, strongly suggest that children were sacrificed to deities like Baal and Molech in Canaan and Punic cultures. So there you go.
Romans 11:4 again. It says, but what saith the answer of God unto him? It says, I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. And the 7,000 is not like that's like the number, it's just in completion, you know. He set aside a complete number. That's not going to take the mark of the beast.
Yeah, that's that remnant.
The chosen that he foreknew, the first fruits.
The elect.
It says, even so then, at this present time also, there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
Remnant according to the election of grace. So like I was saying, the Israelites can never be faded. We can never be forgotten. We can never be cast away as a people. Apostle Paul just broke it down. But how it really starts, though, is with the elect, like I said. Because 2/3 of our people, they're going to get wiped out on this side, on this land in America. I mean, that's just what it is. And you're going to have the remnant that get beamed up on the ships, one ship. And they're going to be the ones looking down with a bird's eye view over the destruction of this place. This place is going to be completely engulfed by thermonuclear fire. And sometimes we forget about that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't just skip straight to World War III. You know what I'm saying? Our focus is just on looking after the societal collapse measures, economic collapse, which then leads to the mark of the beast. See, that's what we're looking out for. You know how the scriptures say to be circumspect and to be prudent, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking out for next. We're not just skipping over to the end. You know, when the destruction takes place.
This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb Actually, I'll start at the 10th verse. No, I start up. I'll start at the 9th verse. It's Revelation 12 and 9. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
So that great dragon is the Roman Empire, which America is made in the image of the Roman Empire. This place ain't nothing but Rome all over again. If you ever look at Petra, Mount Petra, and you look at the carvings in the caves, they built like they're built just like the White House. You ever seen the architecture of it?
Yeah.
It's like amazing. So we know Petra was, inhabited by the Edomites. And so whether or not, they're the one that are originators or the creators of that type of architecture or they stole it from somebody, it doesn't matter. All we know is that Rome, ancient Rome, and America mirror each other as empires. And it's no different. Like the way Rome collapsed, America is about to collapse. Rome faced economic woes, military problems. You know how the military was stretched thin. What's going on today with America? The military is on this side of the world, that side of the world. Troops deployed here, troops deployed there. You know what I'm saying? While at the same time, they have a shortage of people in the military, or really they're not meeting the number requirements in their quota. You know what I'm saying? Which you could say that that's going to lead to a draft. But furthermore, you have people in the military, they're not even really fit for like conflict. They're not even really in it for that. They're in it to just get the benefits, cheaper car insurance, that Hellcat. You know what I'm saying?
Military discount. That's why they just enlist. They just in the reserves, because they don't think anything gonna happen. They don't think they're ever gonna, their number's gonna get called, but it will.
And when it does, that's when they're gonna go crazy. Hold that, get Jeremiah 50 and 30.
Go AWOL. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 30. It says, therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh. Behold,
So America's military, they're not going to stand a chance when World War III takes place. Not only that, but the scriptures speak about how there's going to be war in heaven. After that, get that scripture.
It says, behold, I am against thee, O most proud. Talking about Esau Edom. Saith the Lord God Yahweh, power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that God I will visit thee. So I can read it again. It says, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord power of hosts, the Lord God of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall arise.
Yeah, so when the day of the Lord comes, he's not gonna come all peaceful like. He's coming to wage war.
Right, like the Heavenly Father, he's gonna come and be diplomatic.
So you know what? You haven't been right your whole life. We're gonna change you. We're gonna make you right so that you can be righteous rulers over this earth. As for my people, you can still have them. You just treat them right.
Right.
Let's be real.
You just stay over there, and we stay over here. Like there's gonna be two rulers at once, calling shots.
That wouldn't even be fair or balanced. It's like you've been in this captivity for years and years, and all of a sudden, that's supposed to just stay the same because you said so, because that's what you believe in your Christianity doctrine. Because that's what Christianity really is. It teaches you to forgive your enemies even when they trespassed against you, no matter what they did.
says Jeremiah 50:32. It says, "And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him." It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go."
So Northern Kingdom Israelites and Southern Kingdom Israelites are oppressed together. And really the only place that this happened was in America. You can't really say that it took place before in the past because, for one, Northern Kingdom, they decided to go on a journey towards the Western Hemisphere, the Americas, North, Central, and South America. So for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, we were separated. And they were also brought into captivity through the Assyrians. You know what I'm saying? So America is the time and the place where all 12 tribes were oppressed together.
Last verse. Jeremiah 50:34. It says, "Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon."
Yep. So this prophecy hasn't been fulfilled yet. And, that's what scares the elites. That's what keeps them up at night to some degree, I would imagine. Because they have to know that we're the true people. They have to know that the Most High's prophecies are real to some degree, even though they try to deny it. They're in denial.
They have to know. That's why they're trying to offset prophecy.
Yep.
This is Revelation 12:7. It says, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven."
Yeah, so that war in heaven is talking about Armageddon. World War III reaches the pinnacle. Just picture like the father ship and the shutter ships coming out as well. And Esau's military trying to fight against them. It's gonna be futile.
It says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him."
Yeah, so the Caucasian man has deceived the entire earth. Making the world believe that he's supreme over everybody on this earth. When in all actuality, the scriptures speak about how Esau is the basis of men. They're really puny. They're inferior, especially to Israelites. You know what I'm saying? But for reasons that we know, they're on top because they was given that role for now.
It says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation, and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night."
The accuser of our brethren is cast down. So, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news, but Trump, he is trying to paint, the black man as the face of crime, the face of everything negative going on in this society. In all actuality, it's the elites that are draining this system. It's the elites that are draining the energy out of people. You know what I'm saying? Because they got enough wealth, money, and resources to spread out to people, but they rather just hoard it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they try to make it so that poor people, quote unquote poor people, poor blacks or minorities are the reason why your typical average everyday Edomite doesn't get what they feel they deserve. You know what I'm saying?
Those are signs of a, crippling kingdom. That's the signs of the end of a kingdom, when the top wicked elites, the powers that be, keep all the, resources to themselves, and then you have the people on the bottom left with nothing. You have no middle ground. Those are signs of the end of the times. Go through any civilization, that's the case. The imbalance of wealth.
And it's like, really, how could we be the problem? We don't control banks. We don't control grocery stores, militaries.
We have no major institution.
We don't have power.
We don't even own the do-rag industry. So what power do we have in this kingdom? We're really just, we're subject under the elite. We was brought here to serve out our punishment. So what power are we going to have in punishment? Revelation 12 and 11.
But you know what? These Edomites, they buy into that ideology because it's rooted in their hatred for us.
And it's easier for them to look at us like we're the enemy, rather than them looking themselves in the mirror. It's like, okay, we're the problem. Really, them and their people, their people are the problem. Jake, even when, the time of, quote unquote Black Wall Street, when Jake was having it, and they wouldn't even let us have it our way. They came and disrupted that. So it goes to show you we don't have no power in our hand.
Yeah, real quick. This is Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So, you reap what you sow. Esau has had a perpetual hatred for the Israelites. They have oppressed the Israelites historically. And so, since they've always had that in their heart against us, the time is going to come where they get judged for that. Because they don't just get off easy by touching the apple of the Lord's eye. They're about to go on, they're on trial right now. That's what it is, man. We're bringing it out, we're bringing out the truth against them, and judgment is about to come down on them.
They're going to be judged with righteous judgment. Revelation 12 and 11. It says that they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Yeah, because we don't hold this society near and dear to our heart. In fact, we're looking to get the hell up out of here. So, whatever it is that we gotta do, whatever it is we have to endure, so be it. If it means us taking over the world, taking the kingdom.
And that's the mind, like we was going into earlier when we opened up, the ones that wouldn't bend the knee. That's the mindset you got to have. Like, you got to let these people just have this place. You can't try and build yourself up here and build a life here. Because ultimately, that's a trap. These people that really bought into the American system and the American dream, they set a trap for themselves and they fell in it. The elect aren't going to fall into that trap because we know this isn't the end. We have something, I say we, Lord willing, obviously. But we, Lord will, we know we got something better than this. We know it gets much, much better than this. So to sell out for the, to stay here for what? You just gotta let them have it. Even though, you're gonna be going through hardships and, you know, that trial is gonna be but for a moment. It's not gonna last forever. If you make it on the other end, that means you are the chosen. You get beamed up in them ships, you are the chosen. You know, you made it. Now it's peace and glory for the rest of your days. So,
And just think how that's gonna be a hell of a story to tell. If you're
Right.
of the elect and you was in America and you got beamed up on the ship,
right.
you're gonna be telling that story for generation to generation.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you got like your mans with you, you know, your fellow brothers. You know, they made it with you. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be something that you like hold near and dear to you. Like nobody could ever take that away from you. That memory.
Your name is gonna be ringing off in the universe. You're gonna be traveling land to land. They're gonna be whispering like, "Oh, that's one of the men. That's one of the 144,000."
Oh, he's an Israelite. He's a Jake. And that's when you know they're gonna have to bow down to us. You're gonna have that glow.
Even
I
if-
don't know if you ever.
Like,
Well, I'm sure you have seen Dragon Ball Z, but you know how when they turn Super Saiyan and they have that glow around them.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna have. Believe it or not, you know, Marvel movies, certain anime such as like Dragon Ball Z, they do indeed draw their inspiration from the scriptures.
This is Ecclesiastes 8:1. It says, "Who as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed." You see, like even on a low level, you know, when you're in the world, people can tell, like, you know, I'm sure you hear it too, like, yo, there's something different about him, like, yo, he got something with it, like, in the world. So imagine how much more in the kingdom of heaven. We're not gonna be like regular people, you know. Like that spiritual power is gonna literally exude off of us. This is Numbers 6:24. It says, "The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord makes his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lifts up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace."
Yeah, or lifts up his countenance. So we're gonna receive the power from the Most High, the power, spiritual power. What was the last part? What was the other part?
Give thee peace.
Yeah, give us peace. So when we're in the kingdom of heaven, nobody's gonna be able to challenge us, come against us, oppress us anymore.
Like even now in our captivity, we have it on a low level, you know, because when you have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, it gives you peace. Unless you know, like you can have nothing, but if you have this knowledge, it's like you have everything
That's
because you know the truth.
And that's the most richest thing you can have is peace.
Right.
Especially as you get older, that's what you realize.
Above all, what good is having everything and you have no peace? That's why these actors, they be all drugged out, feeped out,
Yeah,
smoked
did
out.
Did you see that Edomite over there in Hollywood that overdosed? Some comedian. He was in the street. He OD'd or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you how the society is collapsing. When you got people that are really trying to get so inebriated out of their minds that they just drugged out in the street.
You even see it with Diddy. Diddy had all that money. He became a complete degenerate.
Oh, did you finish the documentary?
Yeah.
I started. I ain't finished.
Yeah, he's a complete degenerate. Look at where he's at now.
The way this is looking, he's gonna die in there, cause he might be out of there by the time he gets out. Before he gets out,
Lord willing.
I got a scripture. This is Ezekiel 1:27, and I saw the color of amber as the appearance of fire round about within it. For the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward, I saw it were appearance of fire, and had brightness round about it. So we're gonna have that glow around us. Just like the Super Saiyans. Like our power is really gonna be emitting from our bodies. And you're gonna be able to see it in our continents. So that scripture I just read in Ezekiel 1 and 27, it mirrors, anime such as Dragon Ball Z. And when you ever hear the sayings, saying sounds like sing. You know what I'm saying? And then the sayings, they get called monkeys because they got tails and whatnot. And then when they stare up at the moon, they turn into great ape. What do they call Jake? They call us monkeys. So those are certain similarities right there.
Where's we at?
So the Saiyans, as it's written in the comics, they're a warrior race. They're a mighty people. And that's who we are.
This is Revelation 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is coming down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time."
Yeah, and that's why this administration is moving quick. Look at all the things that they've done in less than a year. Passing what? The big beautiful bill. Am I forgetting another one? I think so, but I can't remember it right now. And so, those is laws that are signed into place that set up the tribulation that's going to come in Jacob's trouble. Because that's where we're headed.
It says, "And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place."
So that woman is talking about the Israelites.
Where she is nourished for a time, and times and a half a time, from the face of the serpent.
Yeah, because during the time of 70 AD, when the Romans sacked Jerusalem, the Israelites, they had to flee. They had to leave. And Yahushua warned about that. He foretold them what was going to happen. And so, historically, the Israelites fled into the interiors of Africa, mainly the west coast of Africa. And also in other parts as well. That's why the scriptures say how the Israelites were scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And so, Africa, it was good for us at the time. We was living. We had resources. And then eventually, transatlantic slave trade took place, which was prophecy also that had to be fulfilled. And then, Jake was brought over to the Americas, the Western Hemisphere, North, South, and Central America. I think the first slaves were brought to DR. I could be mistaken. It may even be Brazil. And so that's why you got a lot of black people down there. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I was younger, and I never really knew about Dominicans, but I'm looking at them like, yo, they look black. Why they speak Spanish though? Like I didn't know that that's how Dominicans are. That's what they look like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought that when I was younger, I didn't really understand that. I thought everybody that spoke Spanish was just Mexican. I didn't even know about Salvadorians, Puerto Ricans.
When I was younger coming up, all it was Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. That's the only Spanish I knew. Mexicans, Puerto Ricans.
15th verse. Revelation 12 and 15.
But hey, you got some jakes that don't really have much exposure to the Northern Kingdom. They don't got a lot of experience dealing with Northern Kingdom, and that's why certain jakes have a hard time believing that. Yeah, Latinos are our brothers too.
15th verse. It says, "And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth."
Yeah, because we was doing pretty well for ourselves in Africa, you could say. And just imagine if the prophecies and the transatlantic slave trade never happened. Like, where would we be? Like, how would we be as a people? If we just were allowed to do our own thing. If Esau wasn't allowed to take over the earth, like, how would we be living? Would we be at the top? Yeah, because the cream always rises to the top.
That's why it's so important for us to get the kingdom of heaven. Because in the kingdom of heaven, that's when we'll have all our power. We won't be able, nobody's going to come and try and make war against us. There's not going to be no outside influence, The Israelites will reign supreme in the kingdom of heaven. We will have complete autonomy over everything. Because that's here in America. You can, like Black Wall Street, Jake get together, keep the dollar in the community, build themselves up. But what happened in the end? Esau came with it and took over, destroyed the place. He's able to put his hands on it. In the kingdom of heaven, how is Esau going to put his hands on us or anything we got going on?
If it's up to them, we can never have a good thing.
Right.
Shit, we can't even have a family in this society. They deliberately destroyed that because they knew if they can get the black woman to be on their side and be against her men, then that's all they have to do. The family structure is dismantled. And if you pay attention, if you ever watch commercials, you'll see the propaganda that they push out.
It's always mixed families.
It's always mixed families with a white husband and a black woman.
All the time.
Or a white husband or a Latino woman.
I noticed that too.
And then now it's like, we've been castrated economically for so long that the black woman is like, you know what do we even need our men for? What good are they? They're not educated. We ask them, we don't treat them right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of women, they're not even really like loyal to their race. They're just more so loyal to whoever has the bag and the resources. And that's why they're pushing that propaganda with interracial marriage. Because they know that Esau is on top. He got the money. He got the resources. He's on top. He's the one who's not oppressed. You get with Kareem or Tyrone, it's gonna be struggle love. Eve's looking at that, Keisha's looking at that like, I don't want that. I don't want that struggle love.
I don't want to have to
I want a man
get it
that's
out the mud.
I want a man that's on my level.
Already
meet me
built
where
up.
I'm at.
Yo.
And that's when they hit 30 and that's when they get desperate.
And they join the church.
Single.
And that ain't a church.
They was over there dating around in their 20s. Keep trying. Shit don't work out because of their attitude. And then once they hit 30, 35, that's when they start scrambling. Like, I need a husband. Or sometimes.
After she had her kids already, she already got kids now.
Oh yeah.
That's
some of them be
true.
single moms too, and they still be out. But I could never understand why somebody would really want to take a woman with children serious, be in a relationship. There's so many better deals out there.
So I'm saying, like, women, if you have a child with a man, you're never gonna find better than that man you had a child with. Like, just stick with him.
Exactly.
Hopefully he gets his life together. That's your best option. He was good enough to have a kid with. Just stick with him. That's the thing with the women, though. They always trying to see if the grass is greener till they got nothing left.
Never satisfied. Always something.
15th verse. No, select the 16th verse. Second, Revelation 12 and 16. It says, "And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahushua. That's it.
Yeah, so, Esau's been at war with us, keeping us down. But the way that we fight it back, though, is by coming back into our heritage. Realizing who we really are. Like, that's power. All our lives we've been hearing that cliche saying, oh, knowledge is power. It's true. Because when we came into this truth, it's like, it's like we became gods. It's like we felt free. You know how the scriptures say, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free? It's like we're free of all the outside noise, all the expectations of this society. It's like that burden has been lifted off of our shoulders. And it's like now, we're at peace. Because we know that we have better days coming to us. Like, we don't have to fight to survive in this society for years to come. We're not even looking to do that. We're living like pilgrims on this earth. We're just doing a quick journey, an excursion, just setting up for now. And eventually we're gonna be up out of here.
Matthew 10, I'll start at the 26th verse. It says, fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. But I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both the soul and body in hell.
So fear the Most High. Don't worry about what man can do to you, because it's nothing compared to what the Most High can do to you.
When you have that understanding, you're not going to bend the knee and take that chip. Like, it's not going to be worth it.
You're not going to sell yourself down the line.
Right.
You're not going to be a wicked ass person.
That's Esau's game. That's Esau's MO. To just sell out in a moment. He sold his birthright for some need. That's Esau's spirit. That's not the spirit of Jake.
Jake be like, I can hold out, hold off.
We've been struggling all this time. What's a little more struggling? To get the kingdom of heaven afterwards?
Like, I don't care if they come up to us for like $100 million, but you know what? Denounce your faith, stop teaching. We'll never do that.
Take it up the street. Yeah, all right.
Or I might take it, but I'll double cross you. Why not? You did it to us. You gave Gad smallpox with the blankets. They thought it was lit. They was like, these are good people. They care about us. That wasn't true. They got crossed.
Showed y'all how to survive winters, and what they do to Gad, got him hooked on, got him fucked up on that fire water.
Killed them.
Generate.
Took their lands. That's the things that they got.
Right. 29th verse, it says, are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing? And one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. That's it. I gotta get it.
It's cold.
This is Ecclesiastes 7. I'm gonna start at the 8th verse. It says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Yeah, better is the end. Like, can't wait for this society, for this world to just come to an end. Like, hurry up. Please, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, let your prophecies come to pass very, very soon.
Then it says, you know, the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. You got to be patient. Because if you try to just do things put things in your own hands, trying to work your own will to get things done, you're just gonna be worse off than you was. Just be patient, wait for the Lord. In due time, He's gonna do everything. We're not gonna have to do a damn thing. We just gonna have to sit back and wait for Yahweh Shai to come back and destroy this place. That's it. We're not gonna have to be out here, we gotta get our straps, we gotta get ready, we gotta build up our storehouses, we gotta store food away, we need ammunition. Like, that's not the mindset to have. Just do the best you can do, occupy until the Lord comes. That's it.
And it's like, with the times that's coming, it's like, yeah, you could prepare, stock up, but you could still end up being unprepared.
That's what I'm saying. All hell break loose, you're nowhere near where you got everything stored up. Now what? What good is it? You can't even get to it.
Or your crib might get broken into.
Right.
They might break into your stash, boil your food, water. Here it is, you over there eating, you cooking, you outside cooking. In your backyard or somewhere in the woods, somebody might smell that and take what you had. So that's why it's gonna come down to like having that protection from the Lord.
You got a motherfucking 300 square feet of studio apartment. You ain't got no space to store nothing. Just wait on the Lord, be patient.
That part.
It says, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
And wisdom gives life to them that have it. So it's like when we was in the world before we came into this truth, we was down, but we wasn't out. And then it's like now that you come into this knowledge, it's like a breath of fresh air. A newfound life.
Because consider the work of God. For who can make that straight which He hath made crooked? In the day, and that's a very important point. Like the way the world is, yeah, ultimately it's because Esau's in power. But who was it that put Esau in power to destroy the world like this? It was the Lord. So here it is, you trying to take might into your own hands, voting, trying to do things to make the world, quote unquote, a better place. But if
you know that Pop the Balloon show?
Yeah.
That dating show? Did you see that fat chick?
I don't watch it.
Did you see that clip? Some fat chick. She was telling Jake on the show. The first thing she asked him, you know what she said? She was like, so who did you vote for? And you know what Jake said? He said, I don't deal with politics because it's an illusional choice. Which is true.
That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
I mean, that's just facts. And you know what she said? She's like, that's the problem. We keep carrying this mentality, and that's why we're here in this position. Basically cursed him out, and then Jake was like, all right, man, oh, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Blah.
Shit, I ain't trying to get chose anyway.
Like, I'll let you have that.
Yeah, like, pop my balloon anyway. Shit.
I mean, if it was me, if she asked that question to me, and she was, trying to get on me for not being into politics, I'd be like, shorty, we way past politics. I mean, just look at you. Just look at you. At this point, it doesn't matter who I voted for. I would never vote for you.
It's 2025. How many generations of voting have we gone through? How many presidents have we gone through? And things only have gotten worse with time. They haven't gotten better. So what the fuck do you mean voting works?
People putting their energy into places where it's not fruitful for them at all. Like, if you put half the energy that you have into believing in this system and politics and stuff like that, and invested that energy into yourself, you will probably be better off.
Right.
Ask you who you voted for. What's your side of politics?
That's the nigga woman for you. That's why, Jake, get you a Caribbean woman. They don't deal with that nonsense. Go get you another woman from a Latin tribe or something. Cause these black women, they really down with Esau and his system bad, like bad. You don't hear Haitian and Jamaican women talking like that. Like, who'd you vote for? Like that doesn't really matter to me.
That's not true.
I've never met Haitians that voted ever.
Niggas they be liking the white man.
I've never met a Haitian.
Coming over here.
The nigga woman, she's like all caught up in the system. She really bought in. At least people that come from other countries, they understand it's just about the money. Like, we just want to get our money here. That's it. Just getting money. They're not trying to vote and do all that extracurricular activities. We just want to go to work and get our money. That's why I look at voting like that shit is an extracurricular activity. Ecclesiastes 7:13. It says, consider the work of the Most High. It says, for who can make that straight which he hath made
This
crooked?
guy's on here in shorts and sandals. He's got his windows down, blasting music. What the hell's
True.
going on?
True.
Mind you, it's like 38 degrees outside. Probably less than that. Oh, I was right.
It says 38, but what's it feel like? It's probably 30 degrees. It says, in the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. God also has set the one over against the other, to the end that a man should find nothing after him. That's what I'm saying. Read that again. My last verse. 14th verse. This is Ecclesiastes 7:14 in the NLT. Enjoy prosperity while you can, but when hard times strike, realize that both come from God. Remember that nothing is certain in this life.
So you gotta take the good with the bad. You're always gonna have tough times, just like how it was in like ancient Egypt, where things was going good until things weren't going good. And then, that's when having reserves, pays off. Being prepared for those tough times. So fast forward to today, it's like if we wanted to, I guess we can prepare for the tough times. Materialistic wise or like carnally wise, but it's more so important to prepare for tough times, mentally and spiritually, because that's what's gonna carry you more so than the physical. Anything that's physical can be taken away from you. You can lose it, but if your spirit is strong, then you can't be broken. You're not gonna fold under pressure.
We understand it's just part of the battle. Right? It's just what comes with it. Nobody's riding on high forever. That's just life. You have ups and you have your downs. You just gotta weather the storm until there's sun again. That's just life.
Yeah, like everybody likes to bask in the glory and have they fun in the sun. But that time eventually comes to an end. Just like how us being on the bottom and us succumbing to our oppressors, it had to happen for us. We couldn't do nothing about it as much as we fought against it. But we're gonna be the ones who come up and win in the end.
This is This is Philippians chapter 4. I'm going to start at the 10th verse. Start at 9. It says, those things which ye have both learned and received and heard and seen in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. But I rejoice in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein ye were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Now that I speak in respect of one, for I have learned, in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. The same thing every time. Let me read the 11th verse again. It says, now that I speak in respect of one, for I have learned, in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. I know.
Yeah, so whatever state you're in, be content. Like us, we're content in what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? We know that we gotta come out here and teach the word, stuff like that. You know, remain strong in the faith. So that, you know, we hopefully be the ones that get saved.
12th verse. It says, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound.
Yeah, because, you know, like Jay-Z said, this game got valleys and peaks.
Expectation for dips. It says, I know how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Yahushua, which strengtheneth me. That's it.
Well, so that's straightforward. Scriptures broke itself down. So with that, we're gonna close. Shalom until next time.
Shalom.